The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. This is Sandy Anastasi, and I want to welcome you to the Psychic Hour. This December 4th of 2016 is a very special evening because it is our last Psychic Hour for the 2016 year. And what a year it has been. So welcome, everyone. I'm so happy to see you on the call with me this evening. We've got a lot of fun stuff ahead of us tonight. You will have noticed that you're not seeing my picture if you're on here live with me, which you usually see me when you are on here live, and that's because I am calling in myself from a hotel room in Orlando. I've been spending a little vacation time in Disney World and having a wonderful time of it. So my apologies, but I don't want to use up all of my internet bandwidth, which is limited here on my picture. So you're going to have to content yourself just with tonight's horary chart, which I know you've seen before, and of course my voice, because you, I'm sure, can hear me. Now, just a couple of announcements as we come to this end of the year and the beginning of 2017 coming up right around the corner. And then I will be ready to jump right into tonight's session with you. First, on your calendar, please make a note that our next psychic hour is January 8th. So please put that on your calendar, January 8th at 9 p.m., because I will be ready to introduce the new year and answer your questions about the new year right here live on January 8th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, while you're making notes on your calendar, don't forget to put down that Thursday, December 29th at 8 p.m. is my last webinar of the 2016 year, and I'm going to be talking to you about 12 different ways that you can open your own gifts, and that's all of the wonderful talents, abilities, things that you have to offer to the world and your loved ones. And I'm going to be giving you 12 ways to identify them, to develop them, and to open them to their fullest extent so that you can reap the benefits of all those good things that are yours and that are your gifts to give back to the world. And that's going to occur on December 29th at 8 p.m. As we move into January, there are some things I want you to put on your calendar. I have a Kabbalah pathworking class, and I do want you to go to my website, sandyanastasi.com, and read up about that class if you're not sure what it is. Pathworking is a guided visualization technique, and I developed a technique whereby I can take you through the paths of the mystical Kabbalah and use it as a roadmap to enlightenment via guided visualizations. It is an absolutely phenomenal class. It's fun. It is life-altering. It is evolution-promoting. And honestly, everyone that I know that has ever taken the class in the 30-some-odd years I've been teaching it has reaped enormous personal benefits from it. So go and check that class out. It does meet weekly from January through June, so it's quite a commitment. Those classes are taped for individuals who participate, so if you have to miss one, you can still keep right up with the class. Go and read about it, because it may be exactly what you're looking for if you want to evolve in 2017. I also am teaching my Psychic Development Levels 1 and 2 live for the last time in a 4-day immersion seminar from January 26th through January 29th. Now, I will continue teaching those classes right here online, but I know so many of you want to study live with me, and if that has been one of the things that you personally want to do, you shouldn't be putting this off. You shouldn't wait. You should get enrolled now. And if you're flying in from out of the Florida area, since those classes are offered live at the Sheraton West Shore Airport Hotel in Tampa, you're going to need to book your room there early as well and book your airfare, so don't wait. If you're coming to study with me, from January 26th through 29th in that 4-day immersion. You need to get on it and not delay. There will be follow-up classes. There's a 4-day immersion for levels 3 and 4 in March, and a 4-day immersion levels 5 and 6 in May. So yes, this will be the last year I do my entire 6-level class in an immersion technique. It's fabulous. Don't miss it. If this is something you've wanted to do, don't miss it. The next mastermind coaching class that I'm going to be doing is in early January. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I don't have a date yet, but it will be early January. So if you want to promote your business, if you have a business in the psychic field or aspire to one, you definitely want to check out my website to see when that's going to be offered. I also know that I'm going to be teaching in February of 2017, on February 23rd, a beginner level numerology class. So 2017 is going to be bringing a lot more classes here online for you. So if that's something you've been waiting for, be happy because it's coming. Yay, hooray. So without any further ado, let's get started. And I'm going to ask Lisa to come on and pick my first, shall I say, victim of the evening, and I will be glad to answer your questions. Before we get into that, just let me review with you the rules of engagement here. We try to call on people that haven't asked questions before, so if there's a new person online who hasn't come in, you're going to have a first crack at it. And we also will try and vary, so if you've just had your questions answered last time, you might not get another chance tonight, which doesn't mean that's impossible. Sometimes we do, but usually we try to give as many different people a shot at this as we can. When you come in, I'd like you to say your name, where you're from, what your sun sign is, what you are most grateful for in your life right now, and then ask your question. Thank you so much, and we're ready to get started. Lisa, who is my first, I'm going to say victim, who's my first person that I'll be reading this evening, right here live?
Alrighty, our first victim for tonight is going to be Diane. Diane, you are unmuted. No, you're not.
Okay, let me see if I can unmute her on my end. Okay, I just unmuted.
Hello?
Diane, I'm sorry, I had to unmute you. I don't know why Lisa couldn't, but I unmuted you. So, say thanks, Sandy. I figured it out. Yay.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Lisa.
It's a pleasure to speak with you.
And you as well. And I'm grateful for you picking me. And I'm grateful for my new home and my new life. I'm a Libra from McHenry, Illinois. And my question is just kind of, how am I doing and what's next?
Oh, you've got a lot on your plate, my friend. And you know, this is a good time to say that you've got so much on your plate, being as it's the start of the new year. It actually is a good time to really be gathering your forces to be this busy with things. So the fact that you've got so much going on isn't a bad thing, Diane. I'm going to mute you just so we don't get any feedback, and I'll unmute you so you can, ask me to qualify what I answer if you don't follow it. But on this Hori chart, Libra is, you can see my cursor moving here, it's the 3rd house and 4th house. It's right here on the bottom of the chart. So you're really looking at your roots right now. So you may have moved, you may have started a new life, but you're really re-establishing, rebirthing, and really in the process of doing all this, you're truly getting back in touch with the who you are, with your roots, with the family of choice, let me put it that way, and with what relationship partners and people you want to have in your life right now. I've pulled some cards for you. My guides and I love to work with astrology and the cards. And I see right now the position you've put yourself in is one where you are empowered. And that's, I think, kind of a unique place for you to be, because you've been a while since you've had that sense of, wow, I can do anything. You're feeling still a little bit trapped, though, because I'm picking up the Hanged Man as well. And I think that's because there are people around you that you're concerned with as you take action and as you move forward into the life that you are planning in this next year. You're a little bit concerned how what you do is going to be affecting them. And what I'm seeing is that within the next three, and that will either be 3 weeks or 3 months, could take us right up through March, you are going to be getting off that fence. You're going to be making some decisions. You're going to be taking action, which might give you less objectivity and perhaps make some of those people around you that you're so concerned with hurting feel a little bit threatened. But bottom line is you're setting yourself free, Diane, and you're going to be very, very successful in what you're doing. It's like you're finally letting that inner person, inner child out to play, to do what you've really been wanting to do in a creative sense. And you are such a powerhouse when you get moving. Do you have any comments on that?
No, you're right on.
No?
And I'm extremely encouraged. Thank you.
Yeah, this is good. You've made some great choices so far. I personally am expecting to see you really, charge ahead over this next few months. And I think the new year is going to be great for you. The only depressing parts of it are going to be that, yeah, there are going to be a few people in your world who are alienated. But sometimes you've got to pick yourself first, and it's been a long time since you've done that. So, Diane, good luck to you. It's a pleasure to speak with you again.
Thank you so very much. It's been my pleasure.
Good night then, Diane, and hang around,
Good
because
night.
what's going to happen, folks, and you'll see this, is as we go through and call on more people this evening, when I'm talking to other people, you're going to be finding that your own questions are getting answered. Isn't that amazing? For example, Diane is a Libra, so every Libra on the call this evening is experiencing this sense of being reborn at this time in your life. You're addressing family, you're addressing your roots, you're addressing your childhood issues, you're going back into past things and reorganizing them, and you're also re-educating yourself in many ways, so that something that you're really endeavoring to promote can really take off in your life right now. So if you're a Libra, some of those questions have been answered here, right here for you right now, even though you didn't get to ask that question. So Lisa, who is our next person who we will let come on and ask?
Our next person is going to be Lorena. You are unmuted. I can't unmute him.
Okay, Lorena, I've got you unmuted on my end of the call, but you're going to have to unmute yourself as well. There you go. Hello, Lorena.
Thank you. Hi. Hello, Sandy. I'm Lorena. I am very thankful for my health and my family, and I am a Aries. And my question for you today is, I wanted to know towards my career, like what is my next step, or am I on the right track for my future career?
Okay, Lorena, the first thing I want to ask, I don't normally ask questions, but I do need to ask you this right now, and here's the reason why. As an Aries, and I'm pointing my cursor right up here to the top of the chart, this is about career. So your question is really right on. Every Aries on this call this evening, or who's tuning into this call this evening, is really interested in where their life is going in the future, especially in a career sense. But something interesting is happening. This little planet right here that I'm pointing to is called Uranus. And it is also in Aries, only 4 degrees from that point, that top of the chart. And Uranus always brings about unexpected things and change. So it doesn't surprise me at all that you are asking about your future job, your future career. And it's not a surprise at all that you're thinking about changing things in your career. But the thing that's going to be a little bit of a surprise to you is that you may not, because of the way this is situated right now, you may not find exactly what you want the first time out. Over this next couple of months, you may either take a new job that shifts you from department to department or skill set to skill set, or you may take a succession of new jobs, because that's what this combination, this planet in this position in this chart tells me. So, Lorena, maybe you can qualify that. Have you made your mind up in what your career is? Are you going to school for that career? Are you taking a step into a new job and wondering if you're going to like it? Where are you at in that process?
Well, I've been trying to do a lot of like spiritual online courses, trying to see if that's the avenue I should be going to, or if I should just go back to like school and study something in the medical field. So I'm like in the fence of what is it that which way I should go.
Oh, good question. I'm going to mute you so we don't get any feedback here for a minute. And I'm going to show you with my cursor again. This little planet Uranus, which talks about revolution and change and unexpected things, also rules computers, computer technology, electricity. Isn't that interesting? And it's in the house, the ninth house, which rules the internet. Does that sound, Lorena, like perhaps moving into an internet-based business would be a good idea for you? What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
And the opposition here, and oppositions in astrology always bring people who we relate to that can help us out or interact with us. The opposition here has Jupiter, which normally rules that house, in Libra, which is partnership. So it tells me there's going to be somebody around you who's going to give you some really good ideas about that. However, you also talked about going back to school for something in the medical field. And I've got to tell you that this combination could just as easily be connecting to learning things on an advanced level in the medical field as it could be to learning things on the computer that you're going to take into an internet business. So guess what? I am going to tell you that if it's at all possible in your life right now, you should be trying to pursue both of these things at the same time.
Okay.
Does that make you feel excited or a little bit
I'm excited.
good? Good.
No, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah, see, I think you can be successful in either or both of them. And the reason I said pursue both of them is that this chart also has South Node, Neptune, I'm pointing with my cursor again, and Chiron in Pisces. That's the healing sign, and it's in the eighth house, which is all about psychic energy. So guess what? You could be taking your studies that you learn in the healing fields and even bringing them online. So there's a very good possibility that you're studying two different things here that you may have an ability to merge into one in the future.
Great. Thank you for that information.
You're welcome. Good luck to you. And thanks for that question.
Thank you.
And, I also want to say that one of the beautiful things about working with a horary chart, as my guys and I do on this call, is that even though this question was really focused on Lorena and her, her particular issue, it also is letting you folks know, if you are also Aries, that you have some of these same things going on in your life where you may have the potential to merge two different areas of interest into one career path, or you may be in a position right now where multiple options are coming for you in a career sense that would all be positive. Lorena, I didn't tell you this, but I also drew some cards for you. And what I'm getting is that you've been holding on for way too long to I can't tell for sure if it's a past relationship or if it's a past job endeavor. But what's so interesting is that I feel like you're in the process of letting that go. And the oddest thing is that when you let it go, what you want is finally going to drop into your lap. I just don't know if you want it anymore. Lorena, are you relating to that as well?
Yes.
Okay, so you got an answer to an extra question there. Good luck.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Hang around because some of these other questions are going to be also making sense for you because that's just the way this works. Who's our next caller, Lisa?
Okay, our next caller is going to be Coral.
Okay, and I'm probably going to have to unmute Coral on my end too. So Coral, just give me a moment here because I'm searching for you. There we go. Okay, Coral, I've got you unmuted, and it looks like you're already unmuted on your end. It's nice to speak with you this evening.
Thank you, Andrew. So I live in Perth, Western Australia. I'm originally from England. My sun sign is Pisces, and I'm most grateful to live in a beautiful city and close to the ocean.
Coral, I'm going to mute you right now because we're getting some interesting feedback that probably has to do with your being in Australia and what's going on in the airwaves between our countries. But I did get your, what you're grateful for and that you are a Pisces. And as a Pisces, and this is for all the Pisces on the call this evening, we're looking at your being activated in this 8th house where my cursor is and also the 9th house. So you're activating this 9th house cusp, which talks about things having to do with both finance and education, medical things as well in your life, things in business, very important right now. Okay. So Coral, how do you relate to that?
With the finance and education and medical stuff, well, I'm studying a further degree in nutrition, and I do feel like balance working and doing my degree as well.
Okay, so we're right on the same page here. What's going on for you?
Okay.
Exactly what I'd expect. What's your specific question?
I was wondering if you could please let me know any details, the situation, circumstances, or timing around the meeting of my life partner, who I generally refer to as my husband.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me mute you again so we don't have these squirrels bothering our connection. What I'm seeing is a lot of decisions and choices that are around both of you. And again, I don't know if this is for one or both of you, but there has been a lot of hurt in the past, which has led to divisiveness. And again, I'm not sure whether that's between the two of you or if it's because of something that's going on in your life that's made you feel divided from other people you're close to. There are some financial issues going on here that definitely need resolution, and you are not on the same page yet. And until those things get resolved, the other issues in your life are not going to be resolved. I have to tell you, I do see some more, I'm going to say hurt, relative to that same situation coming up again, but I don't think it's going to affect you nearly as deeply as it does in the future as it did in the past. Coral, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. And in terms of your timing on this, okay, I'm going to just tell you that I think that you're going to have this resolved. I'm looking at the time. It's going to take a little while, but I get a 7 around this. And so the resolution may not come in exactly the way you wish it would come, but the opportunities to resolve will be there over the next 7 weeks. Decisions will be made. And within the next 7 months, you and your partner are going to be making some major decisions and major choices. They may not necessarily be the ones you really want to make, but they are going to be the ones that are going to lead you out of this current situation and into a much better situation, okay? So we have a big 7 there that you're dealing with, and I think that makes sense for you. 7 is one of your numbers, isn't it, Paul?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good to speak with you.
Thanks.
Oops, I'm sorry I muted you too soon. Can you repeat that, Coral?
Okay, I was just saying thank you very much.
Okay, and thank you so much. It's good to speak with you. And Lisa, who is our next person?
Okay, our next person is going to be Michelle. Michelle, you're unmuted.
Thank you, Lisa. Hi, Sandy. How are you?
I'm good, Michelle. And Lisa's computer seems to finally be working correctly. Isn't that wonderful? Because I didn't have to unmute you. She did.
Okay, well, oh, okay, that's good. My name is Michelle. I'm from Perth, Western Australia, and Coral is actually my friend. And I'm grateful for my two beautiful nephews and my two beautiful nieces. And I'm also a Libra sun. And my question today is also about love. I just wanted to know if you could see if there is any likelihood of me meeting somebody that I could potentially marry in 2017, because in the past I've just not generally been lucky in love.
Well, oh, I could write a book on this with you. Notice I didn't say for you, Michelle. I said with you. That was an
Okay.
important criteria. I want to tell you, first of all,
Okay.
Michelle, that it's not that there's anything wrong with you or even your choices in love. It's that you are a person who really hangs in there and makes commitments. Um, and I want to try and put this into words that you're going to understand well, because this is so, it's not just for you. Other people on the call are in the same exact position that you are, and it's especially poignant right now around the holiday seasons. When you
Mm-hmm.
when you fall in love, when you meet a partner, when you are really close to that person, you make a emotional commitment that comes from a very deep place within you, and you feel once you've made that commitment that that has to be a life commitment for you. Even before you've tied the knot in marriage, even before that other person has committed to you, you make this internal commitment to them, and then you carry the torch for that, sometimes for years. So it's not that there's anything bad
Yes,
or wrong.
that's true.
The thing is, you're not undergoing this pain, this hurt, because of being a bad person or choosing incorrectly. I think that you need to perhaps revisit your own level of commitment and recognize that you're allowed to love somebody, and you're allowed to put your neck on the line for them as much as you want, but you have to not forget yourself and your own needs. Okay? And I
Mm-hmm.
think of it as kind of having a rule book that says, okay, you can do two or three nice things for that person you're in love with or that you really feel strongly about, but then you need to sit back and wait and see if they are reciprocating. What are they doing back for you? And I know that doesn't sound like it's right. It sounds like you shouldn't be asking for tit for tat. You shouldn't be asking for that person to give to you in like form. Your values say that that's wrong. If you love someone, you need to just give to them from your heart. The problem is that you were not born with a system of checks and balances, so you have to create one. Do you get it? You understand what I'm talking about?
Not really, sorry.
Well, let me put it to you in real simple terms. If you have
Okay.
me, because this isn't just in your love relationships, this is with all relationships. If you have me over to your house for dinner
Yeah.
and I rave about how wonderful the dinner is and what a great cook you are, well, next week you have me over for dinner again because we had such a good time, and I rave again. I tell you how great a cook you are, and you have me over for dinner again two or three more times, and every time I rave and I tell you what a great cook you are, and we have a good time. And then you start to scratch your head and say, why does Sandy not ever invite me out for dinner? I wonder if I have cooties or something. And so you give some, you hint to me, it would be really nice to see what your house looks like, Sandy. Or, do you cook anything? And I just say, oh, yeah, we'll do that someday. When can I come over for dinner again? You get my point?
Yeah. Is that because I have Virgo in my North Node though? Is that why I am that way, or?
No, it just is. Some people got born with a
Oh.
system of checks and balances, and some didn't, and you didn't. Okay, I could look at your, I
Okay.
could look at your natal zodiac chart and probably go into this in a whole lot of depth with you. But isn't it interesting that one of the things that makes you such a beautiful, wonderful person, a great friend, a great person to have as a lover, hurts you. It benefits everybody else, but it hurts you. So you can't expect
Yeah.
other people are going to put you first if you don't. I need to say
Right.
that again because we have a lot of other callers here who are hearing the same thing. You can't expect other people to put you first if you don't. Please write
Mm.
that down. It doesn't mean you have to be selfish. It doesn't mean that you can't think about them and do nice things for them, but you have to put you first. And that's going to telegraph to them that you count, that you're important. Okay? All of us need to remember that in the airplanes, they tell people that if you don't put that mask on yourself first, if the plane's in jeopardy, you could end up killing the people next to you that you could have helped. Well, love works
Mm.
the same way. If you don't look after your own needs first, that person that you could have had this perfect, wonderful relationship with, you never do because they don't recognize what you've got to give because you're not recognizing it yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
So now let's go back and look more specifically at a recent relationship because you really want to know about the future. But I'm seeing a recent
Yeah.
relationship, and I don't know for you whether recent is it's been over for a year or for 2 days because you hold on to the emotion,
Mhm.
okay? But I see
Yes.
a gentleman
Yeah.
here that you are holding on to, and emotionally, you're not through this yet. And every time you finally start to pull yourself together and feel like you're done, he picks up the phone and he calls you. And the reason he does that is
Oh my God.
he's feeling you releasing the tension. And you're like, oh my God, here he is. He's back again. Wow, it could happen. No, it can't happen. You and he have this taffy between you. And when you finally start to slip the noose from around your neck, he feels the energy gone and he reaches out for it again. You got it? So if you
Yes, you're so spot on. Yeah, you're so
walk,
spot on. It's
gotta
scary.
walk away, okay? And you want a new
Yes.
relationship in your life, but that new relationship can't come to you as long as you're holding on to the person who won't let go of you. He is in the way of a new love filling your life that could be so wonderful.
So I don't know if it's karmic or not. That's what I mean. I don't know how to resolve the issue.
Well, you resolve the issue by taking charge and letting him go. And when he picks up the phone and calls you again,
Okay.
you recognize the number and you don't answer it. Period.
Okay.
Matter of
Yeah.
fact, you might want to
Yeah.
block that number from your phone so you don't feel the energy. Okay. He's not,
Okay.
he is not going to.
Oh, that's been so insightful.
Yeah, he's not gonna discontinue the relationship. Not if it still gives him something. And unfortunately, he's getting more out of your pain than he got out of your love. Think about that.
Yes. But why would he do that though?
Because
But why is it that he does that though?
you understand how energy works, Michelle.
Not really. I mean, I know that it's obvious. I sort of, but if you could explain it, that'd be
Yeah,
really
I
good.
will. I know we're taking a little bit longer, but I will because I know that this is going on for a lot of people on tonight's call. I know that because the seventh house, which is the house of relationship in this horary chart, has Moon, which is emotions, and Mars, which is sex and energy and men and action, and it's in Aquarius, which is talking all about really looking at relationships from an energetic Mars's energy standpoint. So I know this is important to almost everyone on the call right now. In every single interreaction between humans, there is an energy exchange. And when you're feeling happy and uplifted, that's because that energy exchange is a positive one that's benefiting both of you. If you are feeling resentful or down or hurt or unhappy, it's because there's something not right with that energy exchange. And that is true every single time. Okay? So when you're
Hmm.
feeling bad, you are emitting probably more energy than when you're feeling good. If you think about it, when you were in this relationship with this guy, when things were good between you, you went out and you had a life and you did some things with your girlfriends, and your job was going good, and you did more stuff with your family, and you really had good stuff going on. But you weren't paying attention to him
Mm.
24/7, were you? And then he discovered that when
Mm.
he gave you a hard time, when he acted up like a bad kid, when he went behind your back,
Yes.
when he cheated, when he did things that
Mm.
made you feel hurt, all of a sudden he got all of your attention, and attention is energy. And as long
Oh, I
as he
see. Yeah.
withholds from you, he actually gets more of you by withholding than he gets by giving. So, without recognizing what you were doing, you've trained him to withhold from you. Do not do that with the next one.
Yes, that.
Okay?
No, I won't. Thank you. Thank you so much. That makes so much sense. It finally is a bit like like it's just like a huge awakening. Like you've just totally explained to me something that I couldn't really fully understand in my mind for so many years. Actually, funny you say recent because it was actually quite a while ago, but just recently, as you said, he did contact me again after years or months of not really, being in contact.
Yeah. And now,
That's why it was so scary.
yeah, there's another part to this too. We have, within the
Mm.
context of our relationships with other people, we get comfortable with certain ways that we relate, whether they're good or bad. We get comfortable with old habit patterns, and we get, I think,
Mm.
receptor points. So because you were kind of abused in that relationship, you have a receptor point for being abused in that particular fashion, especially from him. So when he reconnects with
Mm.
you, a part of you automatically reaches out and says, oh, this feels familiar. I should reach out and reconnect with that. But please use your brain and let
Yeah.
your brain lead the way this
Yes.
time, okay? Because it's time to create
Yes. Yes.
healthy receptor points for relating. Okay?
Yeah.
Hey, thank
Thank you so much.
yeah, and thanks for asking that question because around the holidays it seems that because we have this real strong emotion with our families, with our friends, with thinking back to our roots and things that have been important to us all of our lives, we all do tend to linger over those past relationships, some of which were very painful. So, Michelle, thank you very much for helping me
Mm.
to be able to bring that out for greater understanding. Okay? Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandy. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye. And Lisa, who is our next person?
Our next person is Ronnie. Ronnie, you are unmuted.
Oh, wonderful. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Ronnie. My name is Ronnie, and I'm from Louisiana. My sun sign is Leo, and I am grateful for my lovely family and the beautiful days. And also to be on this call. Yay!
We're grateful to have you here, Ronnie. Ronnie, you'll notice that my cursor is pointing right over here to the what we call the ascendant in this Hori chart. This is where Leo occurs. And
Yes.
so much of what we've been talking about here tonight is reflected in your life and in the lives of the people who are close to you. So I'm sure you've been relating to everything we've been talking about. And you
Yes.
really, yeah, and you really, since you are connecting to the first house in this chart, you are really wanting to know about you, what's going on with you, what's going to make your life better, and you're really ready to do what I've been telling these other wonderful ladies to do, and say, okay, it's time to put me first. What's the best way that I can do that? Ronnie, what's your particular question?
Yes, I have been unemployed since October, and I had a 9-year job, and I'm currently unemployed. And I had the tower card. Everything just came crashing down, and feels like I'm starting from scratch. So I guess I want to know, career-wise, feel like I'm being pushed into a different direction, and I want to know, I guess, employment-wise, if I'm being pushed in the right direction, and if I'll have a job. If a job is in my future anytime soon.
Well, first off, I've got to tell you the obvious. Of course, a job is going to be in your future anytime soon because you're a mover and a shaker. You're not somebody who lets the grass grow under your feet. So the question is there a job in your future? We know there will be. The real question is, what job is it going to be that's in your future? One of the things I
Yes.
want to point out to everyone is that the second house in this chart also has Leo on the cusp. So it's on the first house and the second house. You see that? And the second house is your earning potential. Okay.
Yay!
So it's real nice that you're saying, am I going to have a job? Yeah, you're going to have a job, and the North Node is in this house, and it's in Virgo, so it's going to be very detailed. It's going to be very hands-on. It's going to use your very fine mind, and it's going to open doors and future possibilities for you that you really didn't have in the previous employment. And this leads me to say something else. You were in this job. Please forgive me for what I'm about to say. My guides are saying it, so it's not my fault. But they're saying you were in this job, which was kind of a nowhere, it had no place to go job. You were getting used, and you weren't getting promoted or recognized for 9 years. But you wouldn't leave.
Your
You wouldn't leave.
your guides are so right. Yes. They nailed it. They nailed
And you
it.
know, so why did you stay in this job for 9 years? Because it's your nature, just like our first caller, that loyalty, that commitment. Well, you made that too, only you made it not just to your husband and your family, you made it to your employer, for God's sake. You couldn't leave because you were sure that he needed you or they needed you. They couldn't do the job. They couldn't survive without you, so you couldn't leave. And so guess what? The universe conspired to get you laid off so that finally step into something which is going to bring you satisfaction, joy, and the remuneration that you deserve. Yay, hooray. Okay.
Yay! Oh, music to my ears.
Now, but guess what? And I'm sorry, but I'm going to show it exactly the way it is. Why did they have to lay you off right before Christmas and do this horrible, horrendous, terrible thing that no normal, good people should do? It's because, you see, if they hadn't done that, you still would have been carrying the flag for them. So they really had to be bad people in order for you to let go and move on. So be grateful. Okay?
Yes, I'm grateful that they were so bad.
Because otherwise you couldn't have let go. But what's really kind of cool here is they do show something else here. I've laid some cards out, and I'm getting the Justice card, which talks about a balance legally that's being kept. And apparently, because of the way things happened, you're going to be able to collect some unemployment. Yay! Isn't that nice? So you're not,
Yay.
yeah, you're not going to be in a position where you have to run out and get a job immediately. And what that does is it takes the pressure off. Now, you don't have a lot of savings, so you're going to have to watch your finances, i.e., it's not like you're going to be wallowing in money for this time period, but you are going to be able to, if you watch your pennies and you hold on to your finances and you're careful this Christmas, don't go crazy, you're going to find that because you have that unemployment, you are going to have the opportunity to test out something and try something that you've really been wanting to do for a very long time. So there's a skill set that you have, there's an ability that you have, and it may just be putting something into your own business or getting yourself started or maybe joining and giving support to a friend who's in their own business. The thing is that there's something here that you can really build upon that is your very own skill that you are now being given the opportunity to have the time and the space to do. Now, when I ask my guides, is that going to be the place that you actually are permanently? They tell me it could be. You're going to have the choice of going back into the job market, doing something similar to what you were doing before, working for someone else. You're also going to have the choice of beginning your own independent career doing the same type of thing, but with your own added skill set that could perhaps make you more money as an independent contractor.
Yes.
Okay?
That is something I'm actually doing. Yes, I did apply for an independent contracting job.
Okay? So good luck, because it looks like you're free from the yoke that's been holding you back. Now it's up to you
Yeah.
to explore your own capabilities. You're going to have the time. As long as you don't overspend, you will have the money to support yourself while you're exploring this. and then you can really decide what it is you want to do with your life instead of just reacting to wherever you happen to fall and saying, okay, well, here I am, I guess I'll make the best of it. Isn't this nice?
Yes, I did take advantage of the time and start, studying and learning new things.
Mhm.
So I am relieved. I am relieved. I do see the job, my evil boss, as being a blessing in disguise.
And really, you're doing very, very well. You're in good shape. And I do want to tell you, it really isn't so important whether you do your work on your own or whether you work for somebody doing your work. That will be your choice where you're most comfortable. You might even do both. What's most important is that you are happy in your work. Okay, please remember that. If it doesn't
Yeah,
feel happy, if it doesn't feel good, you don't need to do that. You can move on and try your skills either on your own or for a different person or a different company. Don't do what you did before where you continue to pump out the work just because you have that sense of loyalty. Because it's got to go both ways. That has to be a two-way street. Okay, you may not be a Libra, but you're another one of those people who was born without that system of checks and balances. So you've got to create it with your mind. Okay?
definitely. Yes, I will.
Good luck to you.
Thank, thank you so much.
You're
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
Okay, muting you back up again. And Lisa, who's our next person?
All right, our next person is going to be Janet. Janet, you're almost unmuted. Janet, you're almost unmuted.
Janet, where are you? I'm trying to find you. I think I may have to unmute you myself. Let's see. No, you're muted on your own end. You've got yourself muted. Can you unmute yourself? There's a little green microphone there, and if you click on the microphone, the cross across the microphone will go away. It's still there. You're still muted yourself. Got to find out how to unmute that. Janet, you can't talk because you won't let. There you go. You did it.
My phone went blank and I couldn't see. Sorry. My name is Janet. I'm from Brockway, Pennsylvania, and I'm a Pisces.
Okay, we're getting a lot of Pisces on this call this evening. And you Pisces, you're definitely talking about business and finance. And, you're going to have to, this sounds the oddest thing, but in order to be in the best place financially in your life right now, you've got to follow your intuition. And I know that sounds really crazy, but you really do. There are so many choices and
Right.
options. There are things from the past coming up, and you do need discernment, but it's so hard to tell what's right and what's not right when it's all coming at you at once. Your brain gets tied in a knot. The only way you're going to really be able to see clearly is to trust your intuition. Let your intuition make your decisions, and then use your brain to figure out how to work your way through it. Okay? And everybody
Okay.
on the call, what you're going through, it's the same for all of you. Okay, now, Janet, what's your specific question?
Well, basically it is what you just said, but I just lost my sister just a couple weeks ago, and she was my younger sister, and we were like best friends. So I'm having a hard time dealing with that, and like you said, I can't say what I want to do.
Well,
So what directions?
yeah, as far as the sister is concerned, I will tell you that is not a dead issue, but for now it has to be. Okay, so
Okay.
and I'm going to share you with this because I have major issues going on with my own sister as well. And I hate when my guides do this, but they say, Sandy, you got to share. Okay. And
Right.
my sister has, and I'm going to share this so that you understand, because you and I have the same stuff going on. My sister
Mhm.
has a lot of personal problems. She has medical problems. She has addictive problems. She has relationship problems. She has family problems. There's a lot of personal problems. And it's so frustrating for me when I can help so many other people in the world and I can't help her. Doesn't this sound familiar, Janet?
It's exactly, I mean, to the T.
Okay, and what's really interesting is that think of this as a cosmic test. You know, your guides are saying, Janet, you have this wonderful helping, healing energy, but relative to your sister, the more you try to give, the more you try to help, the more you're going to get sucked down the same rabbit hole that she's climbed down. So what you need to do is to step back and hold loving space for her. Do you understand what I mean when I say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you hold that loving space, you aren't really saying, you're not saying I hate you. You're not saying I don't want to have a relationship with you. You're saying the only way I can relate with you is on my terms. And when you're ready, you'll do that. And here are my terms. And until then, just live your life. And it's okay. I love you anyway, but I'm not going to be involved in all that stuff you're involved with. But when you come up for air on the other side, I'm still there. I'm still your sister. I love you. If you handle it that way, then someday this family will come back together again. The love is still there. The closeness is still there, but you can't fix her life for her. And that's going to be such a hard...
She's the one that just passed away. You're explaining her to the T, but she just passed away.
Okay. Well, but it's not a matter of you had to fix her, is what my guides are saying. And yes,
right.
And Janet, my sister is going to pass away too, and I see it coming just like you did. Okay? And you need to give yourself, as this whole thing is happening, and you need to hold that, you still need to hold space for her. You and I think you get it. I got to make it.
Oh, I do.
Just because somebody dies doesn't mean they're dead. Not in the sense that other people think they're dead, okay? We both know that, you move to another dimension, but your energy form goes on. And your holding space for her is still there. It still keeps that love and that caring and that sharing alive, and you will be reunited. You still, though, can't fix her family. You can't fix the people that in your heart you are blaming for her demise, you're blaming for her struggle, and you need to, I can't tell you how to feel about them, but I can tell you that if you continue to place that hurt and that pain on them, you can't hold that space for her or for them. Does that make sense to you? Okay,
yes.
This is a hard one that you're going through. Now, as far as your sister herself is concerned, let me just take a peek at how she's doing. And, she's, this is not going to surprise you. I've got to tell you, she's on the other side. Yes, she's still emotional about it. But, she's still trying to juggle, and this was her issue, she's still trying to make everybody happy at the same time, and it can't happen. Okay? So the space you should be holding for her is simply, I love you, no matter who you are, no matter what you did, no matter what situations happened in your life, I will always love you. There's the holding the space, okay? And you can heal that person on the other side just as much as you can heal the person who's here alive by holding that space of love for them. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, do you have and I don't usually offer an opportunity for a second question here, but do you have a question that's specific for yourself?
Yeah, I right now I have some medical issues, and work is really, I've had a lot of anxiety even before my sister passed, and I don't know if I can work. I'm a custodian. I just don't know if I can keep working. What do you see?
Yeah, Jack, I'm going to tell you that whether or not you can keep working, you need to.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm just not maybe there.
Right, but you know why I'm telling you that. You hold yourself to very high standards of performance, and your feeling about I don't know if I can work is because you don't know if you can do the job up to the quality that you're used to doing it. Well, Janet, I've got to tell you that your 50% quality is the equivalent of everybody else's 90% quality, so just grin and bear it and work through it. But the reason you should keep working is because this is helping to keep you centered and grounded. And,
Okay.
and you need that right now. In a sense, it is a blessing. Okay? Um,
Okay.
you and your sister were very, very close. Okay? And not just in a family way, but in an energetic way. And while you're coming
Yes.
to terms with all these things, and I'm glad that we have this on the recording because you're going to want to go back and listen to those things that I talked about because you're coming to terms with all those things. And as you come to terms with them, you're going to get more and more okay with it. But until you're in that healthy spot yourself, yes, you need to work because the work is going to keep you grounded and it's going to keep you in the now and it's going to keep you functional. And guess what? It's going to help you to get healthy again.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds right. You're right because it's when I'm by myself is when I cry and
Yep.
think about it.
Yep.
And yeah,
And you can't do.
that's when it's really,
This is a big learning lesson for you. It's a really big one, and not an easy one. And it's going to take time. And you need to give yourself the same, the same space and the same love that you would give to somebody else. The same understanding. Okay.
okay. Yes.
Be
I
well, my friend,
appreciate it.
and have a wonderful holiday.
Oh, thank you. You too. You made my night.
Well, I know that your
Thank you.
sister's going to be there. She may be passed, but she's there. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, good luck with yours also.
Yeah. You have a good evening. Okay, muting you on this end. And Lisa, I think I have time for one more person. Just a couple of minutes left here.
All right, we're going to go to Deborah H. And I've unmuted you, but you may have to unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, this is Deborah from Canada, and I'm a Leo.
Okay, so you are concerned about you, your personal development, your finances, your skills. There you are, first and second house. What's your question?
Absolutely. My question is, I'm very grateful that I'm having a small increase in health because I've been having a lot of health problems for like 20 years.
Wow.
But over the course of my health problems, most of the areas of my life have just fallen into a rat's nest of disarray. And I'd like to know, at this particular time, where is it that I should be putting my energy to get the most bang for my buck, because I want to start growing things forward. I want my life back. Where should I be focusing?
Okay. I have a lot to say to you about that. I'm going to tell you, first of all, where you should be focusing is on you. Okay? It's sort of frustrating, but my guides like to play these little games, and so do Lisa's, that the last person we call on this evening is a person who we're going to have to, sock between the eyes. Sorry, Deborah. I just,
It's okay.
it's like, wow. The thing is that you need to be looking at this. Isn't it interesting that after your entire life fell apart and everything from your relationships to your family to your friends to your financials to your security, everything had to kind of get in this dry and tangle and fall by the wayside, and you had to step back and say, I can't fix this, I can't control it, these people are going to mess up no matter what I do, I give up, and you stepped back and damn, you got healthy. Deborah, what does that tell you?
Yeah,
Did
a lot.
Did you get it right between the eyes? Okay. And, we do have these receptor points that form in our lives out of habit. And you have a family pattern that goes back generations that tells you, especially since you're a Leo and you're about tradition, it tells you that if you're a good person, your life is going to be like this. And your husband's going to be like this, and your kids are going to be like this, and everybody's going to follow these patterns and these traditions. Everybody's going to do what they're supposed to do. And since everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, everybody's going to be happy. Deborah, did it ever work that way?
Not even once.
Okay, I'm so grateful that you're recognizing that. The thing is that it might have worked for past generations of the family, but it's not supposed to work for you. If it was, it would have worked a long time ago. But you being a
Oh,
Leo, and you're kind of a super Leo, you are really, really, really focused on making that work. And as long
yeah.
as you're trying to make it work and you're putting all of your energy and all of your control issues and all of your love and all of this wonderful stuff that you've got to give to the world, you were busy putting it into a place where it couldn't bring you happiness because it wasn't supposed to be there. Okay?
Yeah, and I'm doing it again, and I'm doing it again with my sister right even as we speak.
Yeah.
Boy, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. You know, I'm happily and purposefully estranged from a male relative in our family, and I feel so much goodness and peace about that. But the fact that I'm disappointing other people in the family that I really love and care about, it just tears me up, and I constantly question myself, well, maybe I should just take one for the team.
Well,
And,
aren't
you know, maybe it's my turn.
no, this is still too new for you to see the resolution. What you're going to discover over the next couple of years, Deborah, is you are the one who took it upon herself to step back. And as a result, one by one, the other relatives will give themselves permission to do the same because you're the one who set the new standard. You got it? What
Thank
you're
you.
doing is you're giving by your, it's the most interesting thing, by your making a stand and by your saying, I cannot control you, but I also will not allow you to destroy my life. If we're going to have a
Absolutely.
relationship, that relationship has to happen according to my terms for me, and I will always love you, but I can't relate on your terms. By your taking that stand and making that clear, but not attacking, not doing this in hatred or anger, but doing it in a sense of allowance. You're going to allow that other person to be who they are. You're just not going to allow them to destroy you. And when you do that, it's really amazing. You give everybody around you the ability to also allow themselves to be who they are.
Thank you so, so much. I needed that reassurance so much because of, as you know, everything that you just said. And you can't even imagine how much I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that back again. You made my Christmas. Thank you. And folks, I'm not going to be able to speak with you all again until next year, but we are going to be meeting for our next psychic hour again on January 8th at 9 o'clock. And I wish everybody a warm, healthy, happy holiday season, a great Christmas, great Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever your holidays are that you're having with your family and loved ones, or if you're having it by yourself. You know, I've spent Christmases by myself, and on hindsight, some of them were some of the best Christmases that I've had. It's all a matter of attitude. Do for yourself what's going to make you feel good, folks. That's what the holidays are all about. And if you're feeling good, you have all the wealth and the joy and the happiness and the love to share with everybody else. It comes back to you. It's just amazing. I love you all. I'm so grateful that you're here this evening, and I look forward to being back with you again next year. Happy holidays. Bye-bye. Good night.